And just like that, from rumors to in our hands, we have the most powerful MacBook ever. And let's go through all the changes that they've done this year. So they've done very impressive design for this. First, let's talk about the keyboard improvements that they've made. No longer are there butterfly chiclet style keyboards on here with those kind of snappy touch. We're back to the scissor switch. The scissor switch with the membranes from the MacBooks that we loved in 2015. And if we look here, they're listening to our feedback. There's an escape button that allows us to switch through our apps with ease, just like we wanted before. No more awkwardness with the touch bar design. You have your same Touch ID button that serves as your power button. So the keys are a little smaller this year, but it's much more comfortable than it was for all the previous iterations, at least the past maybe 3 years of MacBooks and calling feedback. This trackpad is still just as amazing as ever. It's large, able to do all your finger gestures. They have dual canceling subwoofer speakers. And if you listen to our audio test, man, these things sound beautiful and loud. Dolby Atmos. It'll really lighten up the room that you're in, and I don't feel the need to ever plug this into any external speakers. And that's because the subwoofers, they cancel out each other, so you get even lower basses than you thought possible without any rattling inside the keyboard. Let's talk about the screen here. It's beautiful, the LED Retina display, 16 inches, so it's a larger chassis, and this replaces the 15-inch line. It's a beautiful, stunning display. It's still one of the best in the market. And let's talk about these studio speakers here. It's a triple array studio mic quality, which aims to replace any, let's just say, boom audio mics that you might have or carry, really targeted for those who want to do daily vlogs. Now, if you're a power user, maybe you'll have separate mics, but this should cover way more than what the mainstream user has, whether they're FaceTiming or blogging or just talking to themselves in voice memos, or even recording some music. So we'll have a little voice memo audio there. 100 watt-hour battery, the largest that you can possibly have and still fly in an airplane, which that means it's the max capacity, but also changing the chemistry inside the battery to give us an hour more of battery life, even though they've made improvements to the heatsink on here, about 35% larger, along with 28% larger fans to increase the airflow so we don't have any throttling in the performance, and it's running the latest Core Intel processors. We have the Core i9 over here, and this thing can go all the way up to 8 terabytes of storage. So if you buy this and you expect to use this for years, man, you can store a lot of content on here. We have the 1 terabyte here, and the I/O, we have 4 Thunderbolt ports. Those allow up to 40 gigabytes per second of transfer. Man, the MacBook isn't going anywhere because it's a staple, and this is still kind of the landmark North Star for a lot of hardware makers. And just feeling this, I feel like Apple's raised the bar, because it still starts at $23.99 for the base model, going up to $26.99 if you want the Core i9, and it can go spec'd out all the way to $6,000 if you really want all the bells and whistles that come with this MacBook. In many ways, Phil Schiller said it best in his interview with Jonathan Morrison, our other fellow YouTuber. They did this. It's part of the innovation. It's part of listening to the prosumers. It's part of listening to content creators. There's still a love, there's still a passion for this device. And as you saw in my setup, man, this thing just was seamless with its integration with the iPad. So if you want to lock yourself into the Apple ecosystem, and you know me, I do a lot of Surface Pro reviews and Android reviews, this is still a beautiful and seamless experience, and I'm so glad that the Mac is back. Let's dive into this and unbox it so you can see for yourselves. And what I like about Apple's packaging is I don't think I need a knife. I can probably just pull this tab off all around. First time there. Let's lift that. And this is the MacBook, designed by Apple. Space gray MacBook, and these are your Thunderbolt ports, 2 of them. And 2 on this side. Your MacBook Pro, some stickers there. We have a very large USB-C 96 watt power brick, and that's to power the 100 watt-hour battery that's included in this MacBook. and the USB-C as well. Now we have the touch fingerprint sensor right here, and it's an actual tactile button that you can press, and you have a physical escape button. And privacy stuff, continue. Fresh. Hey Siri. Let's see this dark mode. Now there's one thing I want to just test out as we're setting this up, and I've always wanted to do this. We have an iPad Pro. The screen share for the iPad worked, so let's see if we can't just get this going right away. So connect to Shawn Michaels' iPad. Let's see if it's actually that seamless. That is fantastic. I just clicked one button, and now we have two monitors, the screen share. Oh man, that's amazing. And let's just go ahead and throw it onto this display. As easy as that. That is amazing, folks. And let's go over some of the major changes. First, you notice the keyboard. The actually chiclet style of keys are smaller than last year, but that allows more pitch and play, more distance between the keys, millimeter raise, and it's a scissor switch rather than the butterfly keyboards. So for those who had the 2015 MacBook keyboard, it's impressive that they actually took the feedback and went back to the scissor keyboard. They're calling it the Magic Keyboard, and I can feel that it is back. It has more track, a little more bounce to it, and it's not as snappy as the previous keyboard, which had so many reliability issues that made headlines as how disliked it was. If anything, it's innovating going backwards, which is a great thing. Now, if we look in this corner at the escape key, we notice that it's a physical button here. This Touch ID button here is also the power button. Now, the trackpad has increased to the max it can be, and this is the premium, the top tier trackpad in the market. It's so buttery smooth. You can have your different desktops here, jump from one to another. Let's go ahead and test out these speakers.
Don't blame yourself now.
So Apple's made improvements to their speakers. You have these dual subwoofers that can cancel out each other to give you deeper basses without rattling the keyboard or getting kind of that Dolby Atmos type of sound. Let's go ahead and record something and get this studio mic quality. So let's go ahead and record this. Hi guys, we're here with the new MacBook Pro 16-inch, and Apple's made so many improvements, including the studio mics right here, which will give you a run for your money for those who want to do vlogs or video chatting or FaceTime all the time. This should really amp up your quality in terms of the stereo studio mic speakers, and I suspect that it'll be very clear, very proud, and the MacBook Pro line has really listened to its consumers to get this product out in a feasible fashion. All right, that's the audio clip. Now let's go ahead and look at the overall chassis of this. So this MacBook Pro 16-inch is 7mm thicker than last year's model, which I really don't mind because it's including under the hood here a 100-watt-hour battery, and that's limited to the constraints of flights. So they won't allow you to carry any lithium-ion batteries that are larger than 100 watts hours. So that's why they maxed it out, but they also maxed out kind of the chemistry inside of the battery to improve the battery life to give you 1 more hour than last year, even though it has improved performance. And when I say improved performance, that's also the rechanged heatsink that they have in here and about 30% larger fans that allow more air into the system so that they don't have to throttle it at higher performance. So if you're rendering videos or if you're compiling code, you're gonna hear this thing and it's gonna let all the air in. If you look at the past MacBooks, it was throttled and people put it in freezers to get higher performance, but you can literally see kind of the grills right here to really let the air flow in, all right? And then on each side here, you still have that headphone jack and you have 4 Thunderbolt ports. Phil Schiller said, when asked why there's not an SD card slot, well, honestly with the I/O, you want that flexibility. And if I was gonna trade an SD card slot for a USB-C that has Thunderbolt, I would do this, so I would agree. Even though it's a larger framework, they could add more ports in, but that's just the trade-offs for the I/O in terms of Apple, and USB-C adapters are becoming more common, and I bet you probably have one already if you have even a Windows laptop, an Android device. Okay, so this screen over here, it is a 3072 by 1920 LED Retina display. It's just as beautiful as last year, and you notice the bezels are smaller. They increased the footprint, but this is finally a 16-inch version of the MacBook Pro. Okay everybody, get your hands on this MacBook Pro. We're gonna do further testings and we're gonna decide what's the best laptop of 2019. And this, for me, costs about $3,000, so let's go ahead and review this. Thank you so much for supporting the channel. I hope this helps you decide. And again, if you're a MacBook fan, this is a great day because they just launched it. A delightful surprise. All right everyone, subscribe to the channel. Thank you so much for your support and we'll see you in the next video. Bye guys.